In today's video, I am going to be talking about 5 of the most common baby and toddler sleep myths that you have no doubt heard at one point or another. And I'm going to be setting the record straight and debunking them so that you know what's true and what's not. So listen on to find out more. But before I dive in, for those of you who don't know me, my name's Jen. I'm from jenniferbutler.com.au and I'm an early parenting specialist dedicated to helping parents enjoy the simple joys and early intimate days with their baby through helping parents to get to know, understand, and support their baby. If that sounds like something that you would love to hear about, then I would love for you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. There's a button below that you can tap and a bell that you can also hit to notify you of when I release my new videos once a fortnight on a Tuesday. Okay, let's talk about the first sleep myth. So number 1 is if you keep your baby up all day, they'll sleep better at night. Let me dive into this a little bit more. So every baby and toddler has a certain amount of sleep that they need in a 24-hour period. And we want the bulk of that to be happening at nighttime because that's when they get their most restorative sleep. However, if you save all of that sleep for the nighttime and don't allow your baby or toddler to get the sleep or the rest that they need throughout the day through naps, then they're going to go to bed overtired, which is going to interrupt that nighttime sleep, and it usually leads to more frequent night waking. So this myth is definitely a no-no. Keeping your baby up during the day is something that's only going to lead to overtiredness and affect their nighttime sleep. Okay, sleep myth number 2. By cuddling your baby, you are only making a rod for your back. Have you heard this one before? I know I have, when I had Ted, who was 6 weeks old, and I was told that by giving him a cuddle, I was just making a rod for my back. Now, the thing here is that you cannot love or cuddle or spoil your baby enough. Your baby needs affection from you. They need love and they need to know that you are there for them. And it's particularly pertinent in the first 3 to 4 months of your baby's life, in the 4th trimester, where they have spent the last 10 months in your tummy being cradled and rocked by you all day long. And so they're still really needing that love and attention and the rocking and the closeness. So I always say that you cannot love your baby enough. And ongoing beyond the 4 months, if you love cuddling your baby to sleep, if you love holding them to sleep, then that is wonderful and continue to do that. I only support parents who have found that this situation for them is too much for them and they're looking to make some changes to have some more independent sleep. But if you want to cuddle your baby for every sleep and hold them, then that is wonderful and they will love you for it. And on the other hand, it's also okay to want them to have their own sleep space, so you have a bit of freedom around nap and bedtime. But you can't spoil your baby and you can't make a rod for your back. Sleep myth number 3. You should never wake a sleeping baby. Well, I'm here to tell you that you actually can and you actually should at times. So overnight, when you've got an older baby who's capable of sleeping for longer stretches and doesn't necessarily need feeds overnight, then absolutely do not wake a sleeping baby at night. But when it comes to things like naps and spacing naps across the day, I do encourage parents to only let their baby sleep for a certain amount of time at each nap so that their total day sleep can be spaced out evenly so that their baby isn't going to bed overtired. So you can wake a sleeping baby if it's going to be to their benefit throughout the rest of the day. And then there's other scenarios where you might need to wake a sleeping baby. For a baby who's not putting on enough weight, especially in those earlier days, then we actually do say to definitely wake a sleeping baby so they're getting in the calories and the intake that they need. So that's a myth I hope that I have dispelled for you. Okay, sleep myth number 4. If I put my baby or toddler to bed later, they will sleep in. I wish that this was true. I really do, because on those late nights that we sometimes have and the kids are pushed out past their bedtime, I wish that it looked like it was a 9 or 10 sleeping on the other side of the day, but unfortunately that's not how it works. Usually it's just hours lost into their nighttime sleep and particularly into their most restorative part of their nighttime sleep, and then they still wake the next time, the same time as they usually do. And sometimes by pushing back their bedtime, they actually wake earlier than they usually do. So sometimes they'll do that early rising where they wake around 5:30 a.m. So keeping your baby up longer definitely does not lead to a sleep in the next day. Okay, last but not least, number 5. The only way to improve your baby's sleep is to leave them to cry it out. Now, this one is a myth that probably I hold very close to my heart, because as a sleep consultant, there's often a negative connotation that that's what we do, that's what we teach parents, is to leave their baby to cry until they learn to sort themselves out. Now, I can't speak for every sleep consultant out there, but I can speak for myself to say that I absolutely do not use Cry It Out or any modified versions of Cry It Out to achieve independent sleep. Every family has different values, parenting styles, and goals, and I work with a family with those different variations to find a plan that suits them, but none of my plans will use any form of Cry It Out. I believe that every baby can find independent sleep that is developmentally appropriate in a gradual way that supports the parent-infant bond. And that's something that I hold really close to my heart. I always am supporting infant mental health as well as the parent's mental health. So I definitely disagree that that's the only way that we can teach babies and toddlers to sleep better. There are 100% so many beautiful, gentle ways that we can achieve the same results. Anyway, there you have it, the top 5 baby and toddler sleep myths that I have certainly heard a lot being thrown around. And let me know in the comments below too if that's something that you have heard. And let me know if there's been any other sleep myths that you hear that you don't believe in. And I might even do a sleep myths part 2 down the track. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this movie. If you did, then please subscribe to my channel, hit the bell so you're notified of when I release my new videos once a fortnight on a Tuesday. And I look forward to seeing you back here in another fortnight. Bye for now.